So we talked about this on yesterday's show. Will he or won't he release the JFK files, the RFK files, and the Martin Luther King files? Now, these three individuals played a significant role in inspiring many people to do better, to rise up and help out their communities. They remain the bastions and examples of what it means to truly take the reins and lead people to a better future. Now, to be clear here, again, while these three individuals I named are known and forever immortal in history, they're human. They have their flaws. They have their own fair share of controversy surrounding them. But I do have to wonder and ponder what kind of world we would be living in if they weren't taken from us. And for a long time, there have been many conspiracy theories in regards towards our government's involvement to these three and their demise, JFK, RFK, and MLK. And yesterday, as we ended our morning show, sometime around the afternoon on that Thursday, President Donald Trump will release all files in regards to the demise of JFK, RFK, and MLK. Will questions be answered? I'm just going to say this right here, folks. There's going to be some parts that might be redacted. If they're all open and available, because again, just because he signed it into law, just what will be seen. So we have a couple articles in regards to this, but we also have just a few things, a few videos, and plus a few videos from not only last year in 2024, but also a video from 2023 from good friend of the show, Nico House, as well as CNN's response to this as well, because corporate media, everyone has been kind of losing their mind in regards towards Trump releasing these files. So let's go ahead and pull up this video here. This was going viral all over social media. So let's go ahead and play this video here.
Okay. Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed.
I'm sorry, but I have to. I know this is very serious, but come on, folks.
All lies will be exposed.
You know, I'm ever hopeful that it won't be redacted, but I'm seeing a couple people saying that it will be redacted. So I will rewind this, but let's have democracy in the chat. And you, obviously, when this video is going to be clipped, hey, type your thoughts in the comment section below. Will this be redacted or will it be open for the people? Type 1 for Kit. It'll be open for the people. Donald Trump said he'd follow through with it. Let's see what happens. But I think it'll be open and all shall be revealed. Type 2. No, there's going to be some stuff redacted here, buddy. Come on. I wonder how many 1s or 2s will be in the chat. No such thing as a wrong answer. Let's respect each other's opinions. Let's rewind this.
A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed. Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
All right. He followed through with a promise, but let's just see how thorough that promise will be. This is an article from RT, just to trigger the libs, as always, because I just love to trigger people. U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order to declassify government documents related to the assassinations during the 60s of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy Sr., and civil rights campaigner, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., multiple news media outlets reported on Thursday. I was surprised as all of you. I was outside doing errands when this buzzed up my phone, and I got a couple of people and viewers and subscribers saying, hey, Kit, turns out this happened. Under Trump's order, the director of the National Intelligence is tasked with preparing a plan within 15 days. Again, 15 days for the full and complete release. So he signed the executive order, the documents, 15 days for the files related to JFK's assassination, a plan within 45 days for the release of the files of assassinations of RFK Sr. and, of course, Martin Luther King. So in 15 days, the JFK files will be revealed. And in 45 days, to be clear here, RFK and MLK's files will be released. People have been waiting for decades, as Donald Trump has said, but as numerous people have asked for these files to be released. And for a long time, the outstanding organizations like the CIA and other three-letter alphabet agencies wanted to make sure that those three-letter name individuals' files would forever be under lock and key. Trump made a promise to do so at a victory rally at the Capital One Arena in Washington last weekend, speaking ahead of his inauguration on Monday. The high-profile murders of President Kennedy in 1963, his brother and political ally Robert in 1968, and in the same year, Martin Luther King, civil rights leader and Nobel Peace Prize winner, remained a subject of controversy and speculation in America. What kind of future would we be living in? What would it look like? One can wonder. That's what alternate history is for, but see, alternate history is fantasy. But I think we would all prefer, and maybe in real life, if maybe these people, even though they might be flawed, if they did live, perhaps maybe things wouldn't be so bad. Perhaps. That's the big question. The National Archives and Record Administration, the NARA, has 5 million records related to President Kennedy's assassination alone. In the 1990s, the federal government mandated its almost full release by October 2017. The U.S. president still had the authority to order exemptions. Between 3,000 and 4,000 documents are yet to be disclosed. Trump already made a similar promise during his first presidential term and ended up authorizing the release of several documents. He kept a significant part classified, citing national security concerns, under which what was described as pressure from everybody's favorite, the CIA and FBI at the time. Because, folks, they never do anything wrong. Hey, let's have democracy in the chat. How do you feel about the CIA and FBI? Type 3 for, okay, they're great. They're great. They're great. Type 4, hey, dude, what's behind you? It looks like a shadowy figure. Look out. I wonder how many 4s will be in the chat. A video showing the moment Trump signed the order has surfaced on social media. That is a big one. The president can be heard saying in a clip, "A lot of people have been waiting for this for years, for decades." He added, "Everything will be revealed. All lies shall be exposed," Trump said while signing. So, going forward, I want to pull up this video here from a good friend of the show, Nico House. This is from, again, March 17th, 2023. Okay? I want to pull up this video here. It's from Hotspot. Shout out to Nico House. And again, March 17th, 2023 is when this video came out. So shout out to Nico House for resharing it. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
RFK Jr. vows that if he wins the presidency, that he will release all the documents involving JFK's assassination. He even takes it a step further and said that the CIA is directly responsible for the assassination of JFK. That could be because his father, Bobby Kennedy Sr., says that he has a gut feeling that JFK was assassinated by the CIA because JFK was trying to rein them in. And this speech by JFK might be proving Bobby's point.
Guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are, its mistakes, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised.
That description JFK was giving sounds a lot like the CIA that we know today. To add even more validity to Bobby Kennedy's claim, in the book JFK and the Unspeakable, there's even more strong evidence that suggests the Bay of Pigs wasn't even approved by JFK, but instead it was done behind his back. Trump also came out and promised to release all the JFK documents if he wins the presidency again. Problem is, he promised that last time and actually didn't hold up this promise because the FBI and the CIA said it could be a national security concern. I wonder what concerns the CIA could have about releasing documents that potentially implicate them in the assassination of a president. But the real question is, why haven't all the documents been released? Why is everyone so afraid to do so? Maybe the fear of releasing those documents is due to the fact that what JFK said in his speech is accurate. There is a shadow organization running the world, and those people with the power to release those documents are scared for their lives because.
And it could destabilize their entire political and social infrastructure. And the thing is, the American people demand an answer. The American people demand the truth. This is something that needs to be shared widely all over social media. What has been hidden? How much will be redacted? I hope that Trump makes sure that none of this is redacted. After seeing what he went through all that legal BS, And, just to, do a little gut check, because after all, Chucky Boy Schumer says you don't want to make these intelligence agencies your enemy. Well, at this point, we already know what they have done, what they will do, what they're going to do. I mean, they already gave away their secret sauce. Plus, let's be clear here. I saw Due Dissidents break down the FBI and CIA when they were doing their DEI commercials. I think, in case you don't know, during the 4 years on the Biden, they were saying, it's like, hey, yes, we're being inclusive for everybody to join in. Well, listen, FBI, you could change your image as much as you want, and you could tweet out, this goes for you, CIA, you could tweet out like, oh, yeah, Martin Luther King Day. What a great day to observe. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're not going to change anything how people look at you. Because, see, first impressions are lasting impressions. And people need to know, what are you doing? What have you done? And I think we demand to know, finally. Tell us how you really feel. No more smiles. No more handshakes or high fives. You can't hide the fact that there is a lot of blood on your hand and a lot of crap on your boots. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. I also want to pull up an art video here. And this is from, of course, this is from Judge I'm going to say his name wrong. Napolitano, where he was speaking to none other than Professor Sachs. So I think we should hear this out because this is pretty relevant. So let's go ahead and play it.
In my last conversation with President Trump in the White House, he called me a lot. And this is after January 6th. So it's 2 weeks before, or a week before he's leaving office. He wanted to run past me the names of people he was going to pardon and sentences he was going to commute. He wanted my opinion on them. Some of them I knew. I said, how you doing? He said, not too well. And he went off into a tangent about what he thought happened with the election. I said, you made a promise to the public many times and to me privately that you haven't kept. What? I'll take care of it right now. I said, you promised you would release the records of the JFK assassination. He said to me, Judge, if they showed you what they showed me, you wouldn't have released it either. And I said, who's they and what did they show you? And then he said, Judge, someday when we're on the phone, and then he raised his voice, and there aren't 15 people listening to the phone call, back to a normal voice, I'll tell you.
I have my criticism towards Trump. Everyone deserves that, right? Even I deserve my fair share of criticism. But we all know we're being listened to right now. Hey, Bob. Hey, Fred. Those are my FBI handlers. Philip, Steven, how you guys doing? Those are my CIA handlers. How do you treat your CIA or FBI handlers? Because they're all listening on us. The NSA, CIA, FBI. I mean, it's abundantly clear. Plus, all social media is giving away all your private data. Everyone's worried about TikTok. But I think it's important that we know just overall, okay, how bad is it? I mean, after everything we have all gone through, this country, generations, hey, boomers, Gen Xers, millennials, Gen Z, and hey, Gen Alpha, welcome to the fantastic party. I mean, what more can shock us that hasn't already shocked us already? I mean, our government has already made it clear they abandoned us in 2020 during the height of the pandemic. You still had to go to work, you still had to pay the bills, but you were under lockdown. And then, of course, our entire political system is corrupt. Anybody could buy a politician. Our infrastructure is falling apart. And hey, when a natural disaster hits, maybe if you behave yourselves and you got maybe a functioning internet, even you can be denied that one-time $700 payment. Ask the people in Lahaina, LA County, how that's working out. Or ask the people who've been hit by the hurricanes how that's working out. We're being listened into. So Trump in the off chance, or Barron Trump in the off chance you watch Hard Lens Media in the morning, as you should, make sure none of it's redacted. Share it all. I mean, how bad is it? What more can you do to the American? What more can be done to shock the American people? We're so jaded at this point. It's like, yeah, okay. It's to be expected. I mean, folks, let's have democracy in the chat. Just one more time for this segment. If the files were truly, fully released, nothing's redacted, best case scenario, and everything in there would shock and shake you to your core, would it really type 5 for, I don't know if my precious innocent mind can handle it? A type 6, no, dude, just release it, okay? What? Nothing's gonna shock me. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I knew. Like, this ain't the 90s anymore. This ain't the 80s, 70s, or 60s. No, go ahead, tell us, show us, because it ain't gonna shock me. Well, I'll take it surprisingly well. I mean, hell, folks, we've gone through how many recessions or life-changing, earth-altering events? We've gone through so many changes in earth-altering events that the release of the JFK, RFK, MLK files is just like nothing. It's another day for the Avengers. Hey, all of you are now honorary Avengers.
Judge, someday when we're on the phone, and then he raised his voice, and there aren't 15 people listening to the phone call, back to a normal voice, I'll tell you.
Oh my God.
I mean, this makes it sound even worse. Who are they? Probably somebody in the intelligence community. What did they show him? JFK's brains blown out?
This is it. You know, it was said by one person that after the Kennedy assassination, there has been no president. They have only been factotums of the system since then.
Yeah.
It may well be the most decisive event in modern American history.
Right.
Yes, and it very well could be. I also want to pull up something here too, because on the YouTube community page, we asked this question for all of our viewers, and let me go ahead and see if I could zoom in here just a little bit more so you guys can see it. I asked this question yesterday, 21 hours ago. Oh my goodness, a lot happened. Will Trump release the government files on JFK, RFK, and Martin Luther King? With 426 people voting in, yes, all files will be shared, 19%. It will be released but heavily redacted, 31%. No, nothing will happen, 42%. Deep dish pizza and move along at 8%. Oh, so sad. But it looks like the 31%, it will be released, or either that, 19% seem to be on point. But perhaps maybe I will re-ask this question again. Will it all be revealed or will it be heavily redacted? I'll give you two choices because these were the two winning choices, because no, nothing will happen. Turns out the files were released. So be sure to double check and triple check you're still subscribed to Hard Lens Media, because the censorship is all too real. But even CNN had to weigh in. Had to bring in CNN here for a minute. I know, folks. Bear with me.
Before we even get into the substance of what the documents may have, do you first have any confidence they're actually going to get released?
I think some things will. I don't know how much of it will. I'm a little bit cynical, Laura, because we've been through so many promises with so many presidents over so many decades. And the CIA was going to do this, and the FBI was going to do that. And the truth is, knowledge is power. These secrets are powerful for these groups, and there undoubtedly are people there who don't want their agencies embarrassed. Even if there's no conspiracy, which happens to be pretty much my belief, even if there's no conspiracy, what you do have are agencies that didn't communicate with one another, and their incompetence and their refusal to share resulted in the death of an outstanding president.
Is that what you think, that shared incompetence or failure to share is what the national security risk that they have said is the reason it should not be released?
I think that's part of it. If you go through these documents, and I have a team here.
Look. Embarrassment, scandal. I mean, that's nothing new. It's another Monday here in regards to the American government. Okay? Like, what more? How bad is it? How many regime change wars and coups have we witnessed in our time? Did you know that one time Iran actually had a national government? It was kind of like a democracy. Boy, oh boy. Maybe things would be different if there wasn't a coup that took place that in turn led to the rise of the Ayatollah. I don't know, because I only can imagine how ticked off many Americans would feel if some foreign government did that to us. Oh, wait. Uh-oh. Is it already happening? Has it happened? I'll let you decide. No such thing as a wrong answer.
It goes through everything. When you go through them, there's so many things that are redacted. And they claim, oh, well, we can't reveal the methods and the people involved. Hey, the people are dead. They're long dead. This was the 1960s, and most of them were already in their 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever. They're doing it, as I said, to avoid embarrassment, and a lot of things were destroyed. That's what's really important to know. Between 1963 and 1992, when the JFK Records Act was passed and signed by President George H.W. Bush, That's 3 decades. They have 3 decades to destroy things. And a lot of things were destroyed, and we can already pinpoint some of them.
Well, a lot of people still ask that question, where were you when JFK was shot? Which, of course, means that they might have some recollection of, or there are people who might be intimately involved or know more information. I think that's part of their concern. But I know you're managing our expectations, and I appreciate that as a lawyer, to manage expectations. But there's also thoughts that the CIA may have had some involvement in some.
The CIA might have had some involvement. Come on. After everything. I mean, come on, CIA. Listen, I know you're trying to change your image up. We all know he had a little bit of relationship with a guy, El Chapo. I mean, we don't want to look into that. That's why I love that film, the movie, American Made, starring Tom Cruise. Great movie. 10 out of 10. But then as you watch it, you realize, oh my God, that actually really happened. Why would a government agency be doing that? MONEY, money, baby.
Not just an embarrassment, but there is something that would stain the institutions as well, or implicate. Is it possible that the files would reveal any evidence of what people have thought about potential involvement of our own government?
Well, it's certainly possible. That's what RFK Jr. believes, and he's the one who motivated Trump to do this. I don't think he has any particular evidence that the rest of us haven't seen or heard about at this point, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll see once the materials come out, but I doubt you're going to see that again, because even if it were true, those documents, that information's been destroyed a long time ago. And would an agency like the CIA write down a list of their co-conspirators to assassinate a president and keep it? I don't think that ever happened.
People are stupid. I don't know. Listen. I've seen smart people do dumb things, and I've seen dumb people do smart things, okay? I could see something like that in some variation going down, be like, oh, geez, why'd you write down their names, man? You got to destroy that list, buddy. I mean, people could be that stupid, but then again, hey, they're supposed to be the intelligence agencies, but after all their recent screw-ups, and there have been a treasure trove of them, I could see them destroying some very important information that would name names. Hashtag it was Trey.
I love a rhetorical question. I happen to agree with the cynicism in that particular aspect of it. Yet and still, this remains a fascination for the nation. An assassination of a president, the legacy of the Kennedy family. We see it very much now. Somebody being able to possibly be a member of the cabinet of this administration. Is this a symbolic gesture then that is happening, or is there anything that you are looking to see that might not be obvious contained in that particular set of documents?
Well, because we've been over so many of them, and many have been released, but again, they have redacted pieces that are critical. When you read them and then you see the redacted sign, it's right at a moment when you'd actually learn something. So if they're serious about releasing these documents
and I hope they are. Again, just real quick, if you made it to the end of this clip right here, 15 days the JFK files will be released, and in 45 days the RFK and MLK files will be released. Just a little side note. RFK Jr. did a full sit-down podcast interview. You might have forgot this, but this happened actually. He had a full sit-down interview with Mike Tyson on his podcast. That video, which was very old at the time, was deleted last year. Don't ask questions, just follow orders.
Taking out the redactions and putting in the real words. Yes, I think we'll learn some things. It may not be directly about who killed this one and who killed that one, but it may be about how the U.S. conducted foreign policy and domestic policy in those days. And that's critical too.
Not just for the former president, but also for the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as well, Robert F. Kennedy, to name just two more examples of information that we'd like to learn more about. Larry Sabato, thank you so much for joining.
Now, I want to give I'll give a little bit of commentary here, because I want to pull out a comment from good friend of the show, Roger Meadows on Rockfin. If they're redacted, the files for JFK, RFK, and MLK. We should put or place pressure on the next Democrat president. Listen. I think we all know, hypothetically, okay, because Roger Meadows is also post-duopoly too. But like, I'm the next Democrat president to not only unredact but go further and give us Malcolm X, as well as that was unrelated. That was unrelated. Also, perhaps you're saying that Israel is behind the Kennedy brothers' deletion for not letting them have a nuclear bomb. Interesting. But yes, we should know everything. We should find out. We should know. I mean, everything should be shown to us. Hopefully, we will see what happens, how much will be redacted, and what will still be in there. I mean, people need to know these questions. People need to be finally put all the stuff behind us now. But I am interested in seeing the aftermath of this, because in 15 days we'll know the truth for JFK, and in 15 days we'll know the truth for RFK and MLK. And you know what? Perhaps maybe this is just my last remnants of idealism, but I am ever hopeful that it will be revealed, that the truth shall be shared to us, and that long last we finally have the answers to these decades-long cover-up. How much was destroyed in regards to personal information? What will be revealed? We're still waiting. And so now the countdown begins. We play the waiting game. And we will wait to find out the answer. And we here at Hard Lens Media will talk about it. But now more than ever, let us remember their words of wisdom. JFK, RFK, and MLK. And what they wanted us to do. The better future that they talked about. It's up to us to carry on their dream and go further, as we should.